Speaking of elections, a number of key races were decided in last night's primary runoff elections across the state, including this one, that high-profile showdown between Attorney General Ken Paxton and that man, Senator John Cornyn. Paxton emerged as the Republican nominee after defeating Cornyn in the runoff, and now he'll face Democratic challenger James Tallarico in the general election. Local officials say the results help set the stage for what's expected to be one of the most closely watched races in the country. Now, we're also tracking several local races impacting communities here in the borderland. You can find some of those results and updates right now on KTSM.com, or stick around till about halfway through the show. I'll break down some of those results as well. Just want to ask you guys real quickly, really any surprise from either of you that Paxton won this race after the endorsement?
No, none at all. But I didn't expect him to absolutely smear Cornyn all over the field.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, I think we all know. I think for those of you out there that are not really into the primary elections, it's hard to get the general voter involved in a primary election, right? Because these are the real party diehards that come out for this. These are the people that are really big fans of these people, or are really into politics, or are really close followers.
Or conversely, really hate the other guy.
Really hate the other guy.
Yeah.
You know, so when you get an endorsement from President Trump, that's why you see so many of these races swing towards his candidates, his handpicked candidates, because the people that vote in these elections are the real Trump hardliners,
right?
You know, the real party sycophants. So that's when you see stuff like this. I thought before the endorsement, it would be a little bit closer.
I thought so too.
Wasn't it before the endorsement?
It was pretty neck and neck.
It was. But that just goes to show you how much sway the president has,
especially amongst his own party.
Yes.
He really does. But having said that, I'm also seeing from a lot of pundits that, he won really big over Cornyn, but his baggage is so great that the Democrats are really already starting to make a little bit of hay with that.
But why wasn't his baggage that great with this election?
I think when you have somebody that, like Ken Paxton, who is very similar to Trump in a lot of aspects, right? He is the criminally. He's been criminally charged.
Right.
He's been impeached.
Cheats on his wife.
He's very much like the president in that regard, and I think his supporters see. I think the real deep down MAGA people see that as a badge of honor, right? Because they see him and the president in the same light.
Well, he wore it like a badge of honor
and
as well.
He really did.
And he knew that if he did that, the president was going to help him for that.
Right.
And and he's kind of taken a page out of his playbook, which is, too bad. No explanation, no apologies. I'm just going to continue on with what I'm doing.
You know what's interests me about this race now is I wonder who James Tallarico would have rather seen win. Right? Publicly, you cannot say, right? Because that would, you don't want to sway the race in one direction or the other. But I wonder if he is happier that Ken Paxton got the nomination because he can use the impeachment and the criminal charges against him, or he wonders if that's going to play a little bit harder because now he's going to have to face the real teeth of the MAGA crowd, or if he would have rather had John Cornyn, who he could have used the longevity against. You know, you have arguments both ways. I'd be really interested to see who he would have rather had win.
Well, get ready because they're gearing up for the huge media push. This is going to be a wildly expensive race,
no doubt.
So you're going to be sick and tired of both of these guys' faces by November.
Yeah, by the time the debate's over, I think we're all going to be tired of saying their names.